I just turned 40 today. That's January. Mixed feelings. Now, if you just turned 30, so young, alright? Or if you are in your 30s, you will love this video because I'm about to share with you 10 life lessons I wish I know when I was in my 30s. My life would have been so much easier, less tears, more joy. But the good news is your life can be so much easier and happier with these 10 life lessons that I've learned while surviving my 30s. So enjoy. Now, in case you do not know who I am, hi, my name is Eric Fung. I spent the last 5 years helping insurance agents and financial advisors in Asia succeed in the digital age. Now, back to the 10 life lessons I wish I know when I was 30. A few of these lessons are gonna surprise you, and definitely stick around to the last lesson, which is lesson 10. It's the most important one, and you wanna learn this lesson well because your success will therefore be guaranteed. Lesson number 1, stop caring about what people think about you. Their opinions do not pay your bills. Your opinion does. You see, a very big part of my 30s is trying to make everyone like me, and it was really tiring. Looking back, I really set myself up to fail because there will always be people who will not like you no matter what you do. Now, even if you lie down and you let them step on you, there will be some of them who would still complain that you are not flat enough. And the reason why I care so much about everyone's opinion is because I did not value my own opinion of myself. It took me years to realize this, but you need to know this, that how you see yourself is how you invite the world to see you. So if you see yourself as a nobody, that's how the world will see you and treat you. But if you see yourself as a masterpiece in the making, guess what? That's how the world will see you too. So make sure you have a very good opinion of yourself. In fact, my career went from good to great when my internal conversation went from please like me to this is me. Lesson number 2, working hard is a lousy strategy. Now, before you cancel me, hear me out, okay? I get it. Being hardworking is a very good virtue to have, but it is not a good strategy for long-term success. Why? Because there will always be a cap to the number of hours you can work. And yes, you're in your early 30s, you can work 24/7 and tell yourself that sleep is for the weak. But once you hit your late 30s, you're gonna pay the price of overworking your body. Being hardworking is simply not sustainable as you get older. You need your 7 to 8 hours of sleep, you have family commitments. My biggest regret is not realizing this early enough, and as a result, I became a huge liability to my business. In early 2019, I had a series of panic attacks, and I had so much fear and anxiety that I could not work, and I had to cancel more than 20 engagements in a span of 3 months. And that's $200,000 worth of business down the drain. So trust me on this, working hard is a lousy strategy. It's not sustainable. And that leads me to the next lesson. Lesson number 3, stop trying to do everything yourself. Now, this is how I used to think in my 30s. If I want to do something well, I better do it myself. Sounds familiar? Do you think that way too? If you do, come, I clap for you, okay? Now, looking back, I think it was really stupid of me to think that way because I could not scale my business, which is why even till today, a large percentage of my company's revenue is still dependent on me. And that's not good because it means I got to continue working very hard in my 40s, so please don't make the same mistake as I do. Learn to leverage on other people's time and expertise. Case in point. As an insurance agent or financial advisor, you have a lot that you need to do, correct? Business development to get new leads, client management to get referrals, marketing, branding, client servicing, social media, admin, file their forms, do their claims, answer calls, reply texts, handle complaints, right? Even just sharing with you this list of things that you have to do is already creating a lot of stress for you, I'm pretty sure. And we have not even talked about the most important task that you're supposed to do, your main job, and that is to meet the person and give them good financial advice. So think about it. If you try to do everything yourself, there are only 2 possibilities. 1, you either overwork yourself to sickness, or 2, your business will remain small and unscalable. So I suggest that you examine your business with all honesty and ask yourself, out of all the business activities that I've listed down, what are you good at doing? Focus on those things and then outsource the rest. Remember this, if you want to run fast, sure, run alone. But if you want to run far, you gotta run with a team. And you gotta make sure that you have a capable team, which is why you need the next lesson. Lesson number 4, when it comes to hiring, do not hire by availability, hire by capability. Just because someone responds to your job offer doesn't mean that he or she is the best fit. I've learned that the hard way. Do not shortlist a candidate through an interview because many of them, they know how to give you the answers that you want to hear.
What do you think are your greatest strengths as a manager?
Why don't I tell you what my greatest weaknesses are? I work too hard, I care too much, and sometimes I can be too invested in my job.
So a better way to assess them is through test. So if you're hiring a copywriter, for example, give those shortlisted copywriters a real assignment. For example, tell them, write an email for my clients. The objective is to get them to say yes to meeting up with me. Split test the email, and the one that gets you the most response, yay, gets hired. You see, everyone these days can talk the good talk, but few can do the real work. So don't interview them. Test them, and over time, you will end up with the best in your team. And guess what? With a capable team, you can now run fast and run far. The next 2 lessons are very painful and embarrassing for me to share. There were so many nights when I would wish for the power to go back in time so that I can undo that 2 mistakes that I've made. The first mistake cost me to lose ownership of my own company, a company I spent 8 years building. And the second mistake got me into a $1 million debt. Lesson number 5, do not trust people so easily. The fact is, when they want to work with you, they will promise you the sun, the moon, and even the stars. But when things go south, they will either disappear or blame you for everything that's gone wrong. So the wise thing to do is to make sure that every agreement is written down in black and white. This includes the exit strategy. If one of you decided to leave, what are the terms and conditions? Make sure you write them down, sign the contract before you even make your first dollar. Now I get it, okay? It can be really awkward at the beginning to draft agreements with potential partners because you want to try to get into their good books. But please do it anyway. Make sure you pay a good lawyer to go over the agreement so that it is enforceable. Now, remember this. I'd rather you be the bad guy at the beginning so that everyone, including you, can play the good guy for the rest of the business partnership. Lesson number 6, do not build your business on hope alone. Over a span of 3 years, my company successfully borrowed close to $1 million from 7 banks to fund our Eric Goes Global project. We needed the money to build training offices in 10 different cities in Asia, including China. We had ambition, we had a well thought out strategy, we had a good enough team. But we made a very big mistake, and that is we were too optimistic and we did not plan for the downside. Now, none of the business partners, including myself, thought about the obvious worst case scenario. None of us asked this question. What if our plan didn't work? What if after all the money that we've pumped in, we failed to bring in any money? We did not ask those questions. We refused to think that way because we thought that negative thinking is not good, alright? And that we need to think positive. But eventually, it was our optimism that killed us. Huge debts, slow revenue, poor cash flow. We got slayed. Looking back, I realized that in business, there is always a place for pessimism. It helps you plan and manage the downside, which is usually what kills the business. So please do not be blindly optimistic. Hope for the best, but always plan for the worst. Think about what can go wrong in your business and put in the measures to make sure that your worst nightmare will not come true. Now, you're probably wondering right now, Eric, do you manage to pay off your crazy $1 million debt? The answer is yes, I did. And I'm about to tell you how I did it in the next lesson. Lesson number 7, you got to invest time and money in building your personal brand. Now, you might ask, what's personal brand? Well, it's 3 things: visibility, likability, and credibility. You see, despite the financial shitstorm, I was extremely active on social media. In fact, I was on 7 social media platforms. I did a lot of live streams to connect with my followers. I've created a lot of content, to add massive value to them. In fact, some of them even went viral. I'll never ever let anyone look down on my mother or father. I started my podcast to interview successful individuals, and we even topped the Apple charts under marketing for Southeast Asia.
Love it.
And because of all these social media activities, I was extremely visible, likable, and credible in the financial service industry, which was why I was booked full every single year. Even during that difficult period, I was invited to speak in 37 countries, including Europe and Middle East. 2019 was one of the best years in my career. I got to speak in the largest audience ever, 10,000 insurance agents, financial consultants from 16 countries.
Thank you so much, guys.
Well done, Eric. Well done. So proud of you.
Let me know in the comment section if you're one of them. And because I was so in demand, which I was very, very thankful for, I was able to make enough money to pay off that $1 million debt within a very short amount of time. And that's the reason why I am a super big advocate of personal branding, because I realized that people buy people first. You can be the smartest person in your country, you can represent the best products in the industry, but if your potential customers have no idea who you are, they don't like you, they don't respect you, they're not gonna do business with you. Likewise, alright, if you're not the smartest guy in the world, but your customers love you, respect you, right, they will only want to do business with you and you only. And that's how powerful personal branding is. And that's the reason why, I suggest that you invest time in your personal brand. Now, I'm sure you say this all the time to your customers, right? Invest early. It doesn't matter how much you invest, but invest early so that you can enjoy the miracle of compounding interest. I'll say to you the same thing as well. It's the same with your personal brand. The earlier you invest in your personal brand, the easier your life will be. Now, having said that, there is one advantage of being in $1 million debt. What? And you'll find out what the advantage is in the next lesson. Lesson number 8, you only know who your real friends are in bad times. Now, I hate to say this, but it is true. You do not need a lot of friends. You just need a few who will love you for who you are and will stand by you during the difficult times. Now, if you know me, you will know that I'm a super friendly guy and I make friends easily. In fact, to me, strangers are just friends that we have yet to meet. When I was going through this crisis of having 7 banks chasing after me for money, I confided in a number of my supposedly close friends. Now, of course, in person, they were very nice to me, but right after that chat, they disappeared. No check-in texts, no weekend invites. I was literally left all alone to deal with this financial shitstorm.
I'm Mr. Lonely. I have nobody.
They only started coming back to me when they heard that I've paid off the debt. I know, right? It is damn up, but here's the thing, here's the good news. Bad times aren't always a bad thing, because at least you know who your real friends are. I'm gonna spill a little bit more tea on this lesson. You'll love this one. During this very difficult time, we owed a number of trainers some money. A few $100s to a few $1,000s. Now, bear in mind, they are trainers, okay? Positive, encouraging, good role models, right? And we were close. In fact, they were constantly saying good things about me in public. But when I started owing them money, all of a sudden, a number of them started treating me like I was their number one enemy. They were rude to me, they were unkind, and they started talking shit about me to other trainers. And that is in spite of me telling them that I will pay them back every single cent. Now, of course, I was very upset, but what can I do, right? And as of this video, I have paid them off, every single trainer, and that's about $100,000. And now, guess what? They're very nice to me again. Yay! I got friends again. Yay! Anyway, the lesson is this. Go ahead and be friendly to people, be nice, make friends, not enemies. But don't be delusional. Not everyone is going to be your real friend. Do not trust them with your secrets. They gotta earn your trust before you treat them like a close friend. And you know what's the best way to test whether they're really your real friends? Go through a difficult time and you will see who your real friends truly are. Lesson number 9, spend more time with your parents. In April this year, my 70-year-old dad had a sudden heart attack and was rushed to the hospital for immediate treatment. He had to go through 3 heart surgeries in 5 days, and there were many occasions within that 5 days where we nearly lost him. But thank God for Dr. Derek, my dad's heart surgeon. We were given a second chance with him. Side note, as of this video, we have already incurred over $400,000 worth of medical bills. It's crazy, but thank God for insurance. So thank you for doing what you do. I just want you to know that your job is super duper meaningful. In fact, your success, our miracle. Ever since my dad's heart attack, I made a promise to myself to spend every Friday morning doing fun things with my dad and my mom. And it has made me and my parents very, very happy. In fact, I wish I could have done that much earlier, but you know what? Better late than never. See, the key is this. do not delay spending time with your parents. Don't have this kind of thinking that once I am rich, once I am free, once I'm whatever, then I spend time with them. Don't have that kind of thinking, because there is no guarantee that they will be there for you when you're ready for them. My friend, regret is one of the hardest and most painful emotions to bear. So my advice to you is to make time for your parents now. Do not get so caught up growing up that you forget that your parents are also growing old. And now for the final lesson, which I believe is the most important one, because if you learn this lesson well, you'll be guaranteed long-term success. Lesson number 10. Work on the 3 C's to guarantee your success in the short term, middle term, and long term. Now, to win in the short term, you need to attract all the help that you can get from people, and that takes charisma. To win in the middle term, you gotta be so good at what you do that your customers cannot ignore you, and that takes competence. To win in the long term, you gotta have integrity, compassion, humility. It gives you staying power, and that takes character. So if you want to enjoy long-term success, spend your 30s working on your charisma, competence, and character. So there you have it, 10 life lessons I wish I know when I was 30. Out of curiosity, which life lesson resonates with you the most? And if you are already in your 40s, what is one life lesson you wish you know when you're in your 30s? Let me know in the comment section below. And of course, if you love this video and you want more of such videos, remember to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. It will be the best birthday present ever. Now, that's the end of today's video. I will see you in the next one.